What's poppin', y'all?
What's poppin'?
The other day, I spent 3 hours watching Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey, and it's not bad. Pretty good, actually, if I'm being honest with you. I was once a big Greek mythology fan, and I was super excited when I heard about The Odyssey coming out. Matt Damon, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Tom Holland, all of these stars of Greek cinema. Oh, wait. What is that you say? None of them are Greek. Oh, so they woke washed everything. Alright, well, before we get into it, let's get the whole race swapping thing out of the way. I think it's weird to complain about a black Helen or a trans Sinan. Who cares, if I'm being honest? Who honestly cares? Matt Damon isn't Greek. If they were white and just solely white, y'all would care less. Bro, it's 2026. Who gives a fuck? I think we should complain more about the parts of the story left out of the movie. That would have been great to see. Like the cannibals on that island, the year Odysseus spent with Xerxes. We should criticize lack of story, weak scripts, all of that. The story. Essentially, the Odyssey is a story of King Odysseus and his 10-year journey back home to Ithaca after him and his men were able to take control over Troy. There are glaring differences in the movie and in the poem. The movie takes a lot of elements from both the Iliad and the Odyssey. I won't pretend like I knew the whole story before going into this movie. Like I said before, I was huge into Greek mythology growing up, but to keep it a whole being with you, I completely forgot about the Odyssey. When I was in high school, I was doing IB Latin, and they forced us to like translate certain parts of the Odyssey. I was terrible at it, and so I gave up and I stopped fucking with Greek mythology and Roman mythology after that. I'm gonna keep it a bean. There are some important things about the poem that the movie just didn't have. Athena was much more involved in the story. Throughout Odysseus' journey, she would appear to him. She also helped Telemachus and Penelope a lot. On the island with the Cyclops, there are multiple other giants, and then that's also where you get that infamous scene of Odysseus claiming that his name is no one or nobody, and then the Cyclops like, oh, no one stabbed me in the eye, and the other Cyclops just look at him kind of crazy. He left out Achilles entirely. Odysseus' time with Xerxes for a year in order for her to change his men back from pigs, the giant cannibals, plus anything else that you want to add in there. So here are a few things that I really did enjoy about the story in itself. The acting from Matt Damon was great. He did a great job playing the character with guilt, who also thrives in this leadership position and role, even though throughout most of the time he's getting his men killed, which is crazy. The story was really fun. It was good. It was really good. A lot of ideas and themes of the movie were really striking and felt human. More specifically, these ideas of like the cycle of violence and also treating someone not as you want to be treated, but as if they were also a god in disguise. I think that was great and definitely necessary in our current timeline. I love literally every scene with the Greeks trying to get home. They were all fire, very anxiety inducing. I was high as hell at the theater, heart pounding. If you want to see some behind the scenes of that, I got the short link below, I think. If I'm being honest, I felt like every scene with the Greeks trying to get home were the strongest and most well thought out scenes of the movie. Odysseus was fighting for his life the entire movie. I enjoyed that a lot. This was crazy. Matt Damon was really like, he's really trying to get this Oscar, y'all. Polyphemus scene, the Cyclops, is damn near scene of the year. Like, if I'm being real, the whole scene with Polyphemus, everything incorporated with this fucking giant one-eye beast was amazing. I really like the setup. I like the building of tension. I'm like, damn, I really need Christopher Nolan to make a whole horror movie. Like, this movie definitely had a shit ton of horror elements, but I want to see a horror movie from Christopher Nolan. I think that'd be great. Some things that I didn't like about the story as much. Every scene in Ithaca felt the exact same. I felt that the movie really wanted us to show or wanted us to see how shitty the suitors were. And I got that from like their first introduction. Like I didn't really need to see 5 to 6 more scenes of the suitors and Robert Pattinson being a dick to Tom Holland and Anne Hathaway. Robert Pattinson did great, but sometimes his acting and overacting felt a bit comedic. Christopher Nolan wanted this movie to feel very real, you know, and I think there was just times with Robert Pattinson acting, I wasn't getting the same amount of overacting or acting into the role from others that I did from him. I wish we spent more time with the Greeks during the journey. More so, it just didn't feel like a 10-year journey, if I'm being honest. It felt like all of this took place in about a month or two. But in the epic, like, this nigga's gone for 10 years, 10 plus years, damn near. I think almost 20 years to be real, because he spends 10 years after the war, and then I think 8 years he's with Calypso. I'm not really sure what the timeline exactly is for real, but I wanted it to feel a bit longer in time. I just wanted there to be a bit more build up around this time frame, because I wanted to feel more like, damn, these niggas are they're sitting with the guilt of killing all of these people, of all the wrongs that they've done and whatnot. I wanted to feel more of the weight of those actions. I only felt that in those personal moments with Matt Damon, and I felt like that could have been a little stronger. Having Helena Troy be a twin was just kind of dumb. That's a big reason as to why the whole fight for Troy kicks off in the first place. A part of me is like, damn, of course you needed to have Helen in the movie, but I didn't really think her being involved or her being seen per se was like that impactful to the story. It could have been mentioned in passing, but shout out to Lupita. I definitely would have sat through a 4-hour like true to story adaptation of this movie though. Like if they were able to incorporate as much as they could of the Odyssey in this movie, like I would have definitely sat through an extra hour of it. I didn't feel like it was dragging too long. If anything, it felt kind of short. But I think that's what we all say when we look forward to something. Let's talk about some of the characters. Matt Damon as Odysseus, very good portrayal of the character, very stern, very white man. It was a good mix between being this skilled like warrior who takes his hardships and shows that he believes in guilt and owns his own guilt. Anne Hathaway as Penelope. She's normally good in things, so she was good in this. I think she could have just been given a bit more to do. There was multiple times throughout the movie where she's talking to Tom Holland. She's just like, yeah, like, nigga, you need to try harder. Like, you can't even do what your dad did. And I've been running this place for 20 years. And I'm like, damn, what have you done in 20 years, though? Like, I wanted to see, like, some of the things that she was able to accomplish without Odysseus being there. We spend so much time with her, Tom Holland, Robert Pattinson, just in this, like, small castle situation when I really wanted to see, okay, how do the people of the town interact with the queen? Do they like her? They obviously have to if no one, like, staged a coup, or, like, what is she doing right? You feel me? Is what I wanted to know more of. I understand what she meant by, like, you know, they not accepting of a woman type shit, which is fine, but I wanted to see more of what has she been able to do. Tom Holland as Telemachus, he was surprisingly extremely boyish and kind of bad in this. I think too often his acting is like he's a kid trying to prove himself. When I'm like, bro, you're Spider-Man and like you've already starred in multiple other movies. I think not only did he not have enough to do, I don't know if Tom Holland was playing this role the best he could have. It felt very somber. It felt like him and Spider-Man 1. It felt like him in that one movie on Netflix where it's some freaked out town. I don't know, bro. Zendaya as Athena, they truly did not give her enough to do. Every time we see Zendaya, she pops up just like shaking her head, looking disappointed. Like, you know, when you do some bad shit and you know you shouldn't have done it. That's how I felt about Zendaya as Athena. I think there's so many theories around Zendaya's Athena, whether or not she was like a manifestation of Odysseus's guilt, or if she was appearing to Odysseus as a face that he could not forget, or if it was both of those things or none of them. I think even with all of that, she did not do shit in this movie, and I wanted to see Zendaya do something more. Like, I want to see her act. Like, I want to just see her act, nigga. Like, act, just act more often, Zendaya. Travis Scott as the Bard, he was kind of ass too. I can't lie, but him being in the opening shot was crazy. Like, I was like, what? This is amazing. I just think he could have commanded a bit more presence, or y'all could have had someone with more presence in general, just more of a bellowing voice that comes off, it's a bit scary, you know. Like, his shit, I just was waiting for him to say straight up the whole time. Robert Pattinson as Antonius, he was great, but like I was saying earlier, he just felt a bit comedic sometimes. He could have just been a little bit more, like, I don't think he should have been more subdued or anything like that. I just think everybody else should have bought into the character as much as he did. Charlize Theron as Calypso, I didn't really care for her character, to be honest. She was just a white woman at the end of the day for me. Special shout out to all of the Greeks. Honestly, everybody that was a part of the crew, Odysseus's crew, I thought was good. I thought they did a good job. I'm not gonna lie. I liked a lot of them. When it comes to some of these casting roles and characters, honestly, I think that there's too many times where we have movies like this that gets bogged down by big stars. It's not that I'm just tired of seeing these stars. It's more so I want to see like more authentic performances, more actors getting a chance to show a great take on a character opposed to, you know, casting a friend, someone you worked with before. A few things I want to add in. They use an entirely different device to shoot this movie, which you can really see and tell. It's called the Keighley. It was made specifically for Christopher Nolan to use in this movie. And I think it provides like a really beautiful cinematic experience that you don't get with other movies. There are a few more things that I would like to add that I thought was interesting about the story. Sinan. Well, not only was Sinan not originally in the Odyssey, but I do agree with certain criticisms that maybe Elliot Page shouldn't have played Sinan, mainly because Elliot Page is fucking scrawny as hell, and these are Greek warriors, big as fuck. A lot of, if I'm being honest, bro, a lot of the Greeks in this were scrawny too. Like, a lot of them just didn't seem that strong, if I'm being honest. Some of them, look, I felt like I could whoop their ass. So Elliot Page's casting was strange because he's like small as fuck, and you expected him to be this Greek warrior. But that in connection with the Trojan horse scene, they're making they're making the horse and everything. And at no point does anyone tell Elliot Page like what the horse is for, I guess, like, or what their plans for it is. No one tells them. So okay, that's one thing. Next thing, when you arrive somewhere with hella niggas, including your captain, and you don't see them after a while, and you sitting right by this horse all day and night, do you not hear no voices coming from it? Nobody shitting, like nobody peeing. You don't hear anything happening within this horse. That was strange. Niggas was dying in this horse, and Elliot Page just didn't hear nothing. You telling me, like, I don't know. It's just strange that this nigga Sinan just didn't realize there was a person or people, plenty of dudes in this fucking horse, and then gonna say you didn't tell me you was in the horse. Nigga, you couldn't tell I was in the horse? That was probably my biggest thing where I was just like, bro, you're tweaking a little bit, Sanan. I really did like the portrayal of most of the characters in this. Christopher Nolan, you did your big one with this. I would expect for y'all to win a few awards when it comes to best acting, some cinematography, VFX, and design work. I really enjoyed the movie. I'm gonna give this a Cyclops out of 10. Did you watch it? Did you like it? Let me know down below. I also have links to my music. Yes, I'm a musician. I rap. I love making music. Tap in with me. My letterbox will also be linked down below. I've been watching a lot of movies lately. I got that AMC Stubs account, so I've been locked in. Let me know if there's something that you want me to review next, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. If you a real nigga smoking perp, make that like button chirp.